This was supposed to be it, people. This was supposed to be it. This was supposed to be the Moshoko Tensei killer. The one that shows the writer of Moshoko Tensei how it's done. You know, how to write a good world, how to write a good character. And most of all, how to make a good anime. Beginning after the end, I read this started reading this 3 years ago, and I'll admit I am entertained. I do enjoy it. Do I enjoy it as much as Shogo Tensei? Nope, I do not whatsoever. But it has its own thing that makes it interesting. But my God, the beginning of it really does feel like a copy, a play for Mushoku Tensei. Like, my God, y'all were clowning on the AI comic book that came out a while back ago that was copying this stuff, but this is just as worse. This might as well have been AI for crying out loud. Like, Jesus Christ, this was disappointing. People were hyped about this. People were excited about this. Me, I was skeptical. Oh well, I was skeptic in a way. Why? Because I knew the studio that was behind it. And I knew the studio that was behind it does very, very crappy work. I mean, crappy work. So I'm like, I'm going to sit back and see, who knows? They might decide when it might be good. They might get better writing staff. They might get better animating staff. Nope. Not whatsoever. So imagine having some time when this anime was announced. People think, oh yeah, MT fans, you're going to be shown what it's like to have a better story, better character. And then as time went on, people were like, okay, well, ours is not a better character than Rudy is, but the world is better. Okay, the world is not as better, but it's still good. So here we are, Judgment Day on April Fool's. This could have been an April Fool's joke, man. People were like, yo, maybe this isn't the real episode. Maybe this is something they threw on the side for rough drafts. The real episode's somewhere else. No, it's not. It's not. I was watching this. Like, okay, let's give this a try. Because the art direction looks good when you're looking at the posters and stuff like that. But the anime itself is just god awful, man. PowerPoint presentation. Like, don't get me wrong, I was watching Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, and I love that show. But it was better than this. Like, my goodness. It was bad enough at the beginning was exactly like some of the screen, like people were comparing the screens to Mushoku Tensei. First episode. Exactly. Rudy is looking at his mom, Zenith healing, R's mom healing, R's using magic at a young age to the point he sets his place on fire, where Rudy sets a hole through his house with water, which was way more impactful. And that's the sad part. You see, the impact of that scene shows Rudy's hard work. Because before then, he was training, trying hard to understand the magic of that world. He was doing so many techniques that keep shooting out water balls after water balls, and he even messed up here and there. But when he finally got it right, knowing how to do things, you saw the animation, how all his efforts were finally put on display, and we were all able to enjoy it. And it was a very iconic moment for the show. The first well drawn out animated scene in the entire series. The very first. This was also it ended before it began. Chance to show everybody what it's got. Now you have to do the same thing. You may be copying, but at least you can do it yourself. They did it, and oh man, they fell. They fell flat on their face. Oh my goodness, this was terrible. This was not entertaining whatsoever. Even when it like, I can't believe I'm watching this. It was like literally the first hours of April Fool's, and I'm just sitting here watching this like, this is painful. This is painful, man. I like first I wanted to clown on the beginning of the Ian fans, and I still want to. I still am, but dang, I also feel sorry for you guys. I feel some remorse. I do, because going through this was not easy, wasn't it? It must have been hard. It must have been difficult. All that hype, and you see this, and it's just awful. Terrible. A terrible display of bad performance. My goodness, my goodness. I'm sorry, guys, that y'all went through this. I know how much it sucks having it could be a book or a comic book or a graphic novel, a manga. You love it so much, and it finally gets to be animated. You're looking so forward to it, and you get to wake up to this piece of garbage. Like, yo. Oh my goodness, man. That must have been difficult. Oh God. You hear that? You see that, Roxy? You see that, Roxy? You see how bad I highly dealt with this way they're going. They're not even get figurines. Like, they don't have an icon themselves to sell merch to people. Like, I mean, honest with you, ours is a boring character. Arthur is a boring character. His mystery is interesting about where he came from, the world he's been in, but it's still boring. The world he previous was in pretty much had magic and stuff into it as well, and advanced technology and here and there. So him already having that head start, in my way, they pretty much failed when it came to Art's character, is making him too generic. See, I guess they wanted to make a complete opposite character of Rudius. They felt pretty much off by Rudius, which is understandable. A lot of people do. But by doing that, they went the opposite direction into a generic character. A character that can do no wrong. A character that exceeds and excels in everything they do. To the point where I'm reading, I am up to date on the comic book, and there's even a scene where he's literally teaching a class. You know, he just got into school. He's already teaching class. Like, yo, I don't need to learn that from you. You need to learn from me. It's like, and of course, almost every girl he comes across falls in love with him. And the guys who don't admire him are jealous of him, and they're usually just turn out to be one-sided character scumbags. And that is it. Nothing interesting about these characters whatsoever. They're good in here and there, like a very few characters I actually do care about in this show. And there are some interesting moments, but most of the interesting moments are on other characters. With Rudius, you are still invested with Rudius. I'm not invested with ours like that. And of course, there's Selphie, Roxy, and Eris. You know, the waifu war between them. Who does ours really got? Is I don't want to spoil too much, but there's characters in here that he's gonna find in friendship with, but they're not that interesting. As the other characters. The other characters are spot on, interesting, and unique. I'm sorry, guys. You had your chance, but you couldn't make it at the end. Oh, okay. I think I had enough. I just wanted to make this video and just release it all out there. I wanted to be humble, but nah. Some days you just can't be humble. Some days you just gotta be spiteful as heck. And today's that day, on April Fool's. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, like, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This is out of the background, I'm Anime. Sign out. And thank God, I'm a Mushoku Tensei fan.